We're here with Long Beach State after today's 54-52 victory over UC Riverside. Coach, if we could have an opening statement on today's victory.
Yeah, I mean, give a lot of credit to Riverside. They know their strengths. They know who they are in terms of, they want to pressure and slow you down offensively, which I thought they did a pretty good job of for 3 quarters. I think the difference in that first quarter was we were getting stops and they couldn't get in their pressure. So they do a great job. They know exactly who number 1 is, Bryant. They know exactly who number 32, Webster, is. So they know their strengths. They play to them. They do a really great job with that. And I don't think they care if the score was 30-32. They're going to run their stuff. So give credit to them. But I thought, our young ladies came out and fought today. Unfortunately we had our normal lull of the 5-point quarter under 10 that we've been trying to avoid and trying to get better with in practice. But you saw them come together in the good, and then you saw them come together in the bad, which I think that was key. When things weren't going our way, we had a collective unit of 5 on the court that were coming together and fighting through that and being disciplined in what we needed to do defensively and offensively. Give so much credit to our defense. Holding somebody to 4 points that's extremely disciplined in what they do, that's what spurs the offense. That's what gives confidence to that other end. So we're going to continue to work on, the carryover. I think we worked on some things where we literally put on the scoreboard 3rd quarter down by 5, 3rd quarter up by 5, or played 2-minute games against the guys and said, hey, if we get a score, then we get a score, but if they get a stop, it's a turnover. So just mixing it up where it's more challenging mentally than physically.
Yeah. Well, and I think defense was a big part of that run because those turnovers led to quick shots, right? And so once you weren't able to turn them over quite as much, then I think that's kind of where the lulls came in. So, speak to just the need for that consistent defensive intensity. Sydney had that tonight and has it really every night. That's kind of her calling card. But, that's kind of the key out there when the shots aren't going right, to try to really push on defense to get some easier looks.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out ways to keep the pressure up and not wear them down, in terms of not wear ourselves down, because I only get 4 timeouts. I wish I had 8. So I think we'd be in great shape if I did. But, Sid is explosive defender, just natural instincts. Jada's not too far behind from her if we can just get her to not take so many risks out there on the perimeter. But it's that's what we have to do in order to win games. And you see our conference. I mean, you see people that are able to, get stops have a chance on the other end. So we're going to continue to do that. I don't foresee us changing anything, just getting better at what we're doing.
Jada, obviously, you guys have been struggling a little bit, and I'm sure it's nice to kind of to get that win and to, to be with the home crowd and everything. So how are you guys feeling as a group to, you had the early lead, they came back on you guys, but like Coach said, you really came together and gutted out a really close win in the 4th quarter. How's it feel in that locker room right now?
The vibes are good. We stuck together. We had a few hard moments in the game, but we all came together, and I think that's what really won us the game.
And that's not easy, right? Because you've been losing a few in a row, and so it's where did that kind of confidence come from one another? Just like trust and the time you've put in at practice to know that, hey, we just got to keep pushing forward here.
Yeah, I think it's the carryover from practice. I think we've all been there, present, majority, these past couple practices, and we've just been going 100% in practice and showing on the court.
Okay, awesome. Coach, now that you've gotten to see the conference, I think maybe you played every team or pretty.
Davis and Bakersfield.
Okay, so pretty darn close. Would you put Sydney up against as one of the best players, maybe the Big West Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, what's your read on that? I know you're probably a little bit biased, but how does she stack up as far as her just tenacity, ability to get steals, and just change the game? First play of the fourth quarter.
I mean, for sure. I mean, the thing with Sid is you can have your short-term visions, your midterm, and your long-term. So with Sid, I think she's beyond the conference, and that's not to diss the conference. It's just she's rattled up a lot of really good things on that side of the basketball. We've talked about Long Beach State records. So Cindy Brown has, I think, 157. So that's kind of, it's not going to happen this year, but it can happen next year. Mm-hmm. And then also, where are we in terms of on the West Coast? Comparing to, say, the Pac-12s and the WCC, like, where are you there? So just keeping her motivated is the biggest thing, because it's not that she gets complacent, but it's like, what's next? Now what? What you got for me, coach? So I think those are things that, while that is a positive short-term goal, we do want to keep the big picture for her. And then also, all Sid's going to care about is getting the win. She's going to do whatever she can to help the team win. So, you mentioned if she gets Big West Player of the Year, she probably won't go accept the award, knowing her. So,
I'll take it. Just in those moments, like when they took the lead back right there, they had that 3-point play with like 38 seconds left. What was the plan? Was the plan to get it to Sid and have her kind of take it off the bounce and try to create something? And just overall, were you pleased with the team's ability to have that setback, but then come right down, end up making the free throws and holding on? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, we threw. Let's be honest. We threw up a couple prayers. There in the fourth quarter, but we had tenacity. We had Jada going and getting some rebounds. We had Savvy went and got a few rebounds, offensive rebounds that kept us alive. So we've been working a lot in terms of individually, one-on-one in certain plays and certain aspects and certain times of the game. So that's something that we worked on. I'm excited that she accepted that role in terms of wanting the ball. So it's just continuing to grow in that manner. Okay, so now we've learned how to function as 5 on the offensive end. How can we function as 5 winning the game and setting a teammate up?
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, you've lost a couple players throughout the course of the season, which does happen. It's never fun, but especially with your style of play that you want to play, it can create some challenges there. Sure. What's the outlook on getting a couple more bodies back, and how have you adjusted so far, and what adjustments might you have to make just to keep their legs fresh, because there's only so many players you can put out there.
Yeah. I think one thing we really got to clean up, obviously, is fouls, and fouls that don't necessarily need to happen. So that's one thing that we got to do from a coaching perspective, is that. And then the rotations, we want those good starts. I think they happen for a reason, because it's 5 that are kind of used to playing together more so. So we got to find a substitution pattern that works where there's not a lull. There's not a letdown, and so it's hard to figure that out, because one day we have this player, then the next day we don't, and then we can play this person a certain amount of minutes and this person that. So that's been a challenge, but I do think that the way the conference is set up, we have another bye week in 2 weeks. So we're going to be able to rest some legs and finish the season out strong. I mean, at this point, we got nothing to lose. We got to come in with that mentality that every game we're the underdog, and we got nothing to lose. I mean, you got tomorrow off. Her legs will be fine on Monday, so she's got all day tomorrow to rest. So, but yeah, that's been a challenge, but it is what it is. So, okay, thank you.